But anyway, post-hardcore. Let's fucking do this.
All right. So I've made a little category. We simplified it. We're not going to get... Look, subgenres are subgenres, right? Like, there's a bajillion subgenres. So, let's see. I've got a bunch of old bands. I had you guys send me who you think are post-hardcore. So, since they're in the news, we just got tickets to this band. Where are we putting the Blood Brothers at?
See, I don't like this already. I don't know where, because they are, to me, they fit the post-hardcore category.
I think they're post-hardcore. I think they are.
Because if we're going to go by definition, catchy choruses with some heavy vocals over the top of it here and there.
Screaming.
I just feel like I'm gonna go post-hardcore on this one. Rabbit, what do you think?
This one is hard. This was a bad one to start with, I feel like.
It really was. No, as soon as he comes out with Blood Brothers, I was like, ah.
Yeah, because they're like in a different genre, I feel like, then that's not just, it's like a subgenre of post-hardcore.
I think
it's
so
like,
too. Yes. But if we have to cram it, because this is what a lot of people do. This is what drives me crazy about this catch-all category. It's a catch-all for everything, and it drives me nuts. So we have to decide.
Yeah, I would definitely say post-hardcore, but you could also put them in punk, though. Like
in punk,
you could very easily put them in punk.
But if you look at the definition of post-hardcore, it's punk, like the punk speed and so on and so forth, with heavy vocals over the top of it, but they do have catchy choruses. What's the Burn song?
The Burn, Piano Island Burn.
Yeah. That song right there, dude. Yeah. Like that right there, to me, that's very catchy.
Yeah, but you can do that. That's what I'm saying. That could also be a punk song.
True. Yes, but I'm gonna go post. I think post. Post is where I'm at on that.
All right. I'll accept that.
Let's go with a newer band. Let's go with Greyhaven. What do we think?
Yes, absolutely. Post-hardcore.
Really? I'm a metalcore guy. I think they're metalcore. I think it's metalcore.
No.
Yeah.
I think
they're not heavy enough to be metalcore.
The thing about it is there's so many subgenres of metalcore too. Like, that's the thing. The catch-all stuff. Like, I think Greyhaven I will put them in post-hardcore. I will agree with you because they're not heavy enough, but they do get super heavy in a bunch of places. But post-hardcore is a good place for them.
To me, I can clearly name metalcore bands. Like, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Greyhaven does not fit in with those bands. Like, you couldn't put Greyhaven on a tour with like August Burns Red and Killswitch Engage.
Right.
I would go to that. I would go to that tour.
And As I Lay Dying, they just wouldn't fit on that tour.
I would go to that tour. I
would go to that tour.
But you know what? Post-hardcore is honestly I'm gonna have to agree with you as much as I want to fucking argue, but I think it's because, like, if we're gonna go metalcore, your Kill Switches and All That Remains and Unearthed and stuff like that, like, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm revealing too much by accident.
Yeah. Don't give it away.
Okay, let's knock this one out. Glassjaw.
They are the kings of post-hardcore, and you will not fucking argue with me whatsoever in any way, shape, or form.
I agree 100%.
On the list I sent to Toby, what did it say, Toby? The kings of post-hardcore.
And you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong at
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, there might be one. But I don't even know if it's on the list. Because I forgot to put it on my list. But Glassjaw was, I think, my second choice.
Yeah.
I think, on the list I sent to Toby.
There's a lot of stuff on here, so it might be in here.
Right.
Okay. So I've got some stuff in here that's just for fun, just to see, just to...
Okay.
Terror.
Glassjaw,
that's hardcore.
Let's not skip over how badass Glassjaw is for a second.
No, dude.
I just want to... Like, Worship and Tribute is one of... Like, we're talking about those albums you can listen to front to back and not skip a song or anything. Like, Worship and Tribute is such a good fucking album. And people that don't understand Glassjaw need to, like, reevaluate their taste in music.
Just first off, Terror obviously hardcore.
Right.
Some of the keys
Terror is hardcore. Yeah,
Terror is.
But
they're like the poster child of hardcore.
That's what I think too.
Go back to Glassjaw.
Yeah,
Glassjaw to come out of hibernation after they went through all their bullshit with their label, and then put out a record like Coloring Book and our favorite color is green or whatever that EP was called. Those two records, those two EPs, are two of the greatest pieces of music in post-hardcore or any genre of all time. And you cannot change my mind. The Coloring Book EP is so fucking good. It is ridiculous how good that is. But Worship and Tribute, one thing I'll say, I hate that this is a thing. The drummer who wrote that record, do you guys know what band he's in?
I don't know if I want to know.
You're not going to. The drummer that was on Glassjaw's Worship and Tribute wrote one of the greatest, like on drums, one of the greatest records of all time. He is now the drummer of Godsmack and has been for a very, very long time. Yes. And like people will interview him and be like, yo, how does it feel to be like a part of one of the greatest albums to ever grace this earth? And he's like, yeah, it was cool. Like, no, man,
bro,
it wasn't just cool.
It wasn't just cool.
He's being humble.
Oh, fuck.
Being humble.
Oh, fuck, dude. Anyway, all right, let's move on because I could talk about Glassjaw.
Circus Survive. What do we?
Dude,
I don't think they're post-hardcore.
I think if I would say anything, it'd be indie at the
indie.
You know what?
Indie for sure.
I agree with you guys. I don't think they fall into post-hardcore. I think that they get shoehorned in because I don't know why, to be honest, because I guess of who they've toured with and stuff. But I don't think they fall into
that certain style of like mathy. It's all indie rock. That's all it is. It's not heavy. It's just mathy. You know, like.
And really cool.
What they call it?
Really cool effects.
They call it Swancore now, I think.
Yeah,
Because of Will Swan.
Wilson.
It's like Seosin, Dance Gavin Dance. Yeah, all those bands. They're in indie alt rock.
So this is where I think that it's different.
Prison.
Huh?
Prison.
I think that there's different albums for Dance Gavin Dance that feel more post-hardcore. I think the self-titled.
Is it because they have a screamer?
Well, but like they do have some like heavier like parts and stuff.
They do.
But I would throw some of their stuff in post-hardcore. But really, at the end of the day, I think all indie alt rock kind of vibe.
I feel like.
Can you just? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I kind of agree with you, Toby. I feel like indie rock vibe. They do have a lot of heavy stuff. Like, I've listened to a lot of Dance Gavin Dance, and some of it's cool, but like, if you were to take away, the heavy vocals, it would be just Circus Survive.
Yeah.
Like, it really would be just Circus Survive. Like, they give parts to John so he can scream here and there so he stays in the band, like that's really it. Like, because I've toured with them and
they put the microphone in front of him and say, go scream some bullshit.
Yeah, the dumbest lyrics you can possibly fucking think of. And then we're gonna make millions of dollars doing it. So here we go. Who cares if people are ODing and shit? We're still gonna make millions of dollars. But hey, whatever. MacBooks. Anyway, let's go.
Let's see. Scary.
I was going to say, Toby.
Oh,
wow. Throwback.
My god. Oh my god, dude, that's post. That's got post. That's one of those. That's one of those. Look, and the reason I say this is because we start talking about the subgenres. They were the emo post-hardcore subgenre of post-hardcore.
I think that's like a new generation of music, but.
I can't stand.
I'm getting. Yeah,
I can't stand the subgenres.
This is hard.
Emo and screamo to me are not genres.
They're not genres of music. I hate that. I hate both those terms.
I do too. But
They're
the reason I'm saying but what I'm getting at is like, so you had, I say scene, I don't say screamo or emo. Scene, I say the scene, like the scene post-hardcore. These guys were like the kings, man. Yeah. Like one of the kings of the scene.
Yeah.
Post-hardcore. Like they're not in the same
scene core.
They're not exactly. They're not in the same genre as Glass. Like nobody in this list holds a candle to fucking Glassjaw yet. But like, quit showing off the list, Toby.
I'm shuffling them around trying to grab some new ones.
But Scaring Kids, I'm gonna go post-hardcore. That's where I'm at right now.
All right, that's fair. Like, yeah, okay, yeah.
All right, Under Oath. Where are you throwing them?
Shit, dude.
See, this
is one of those things. Like everything can fall into post-hardcore if you squint at it hard enough, and that's my problem with it.
If you analyze it too much, it's
a.
They can also go in metalcore. They can go.
They could go in metalcore. But
they were heavy enough that they could.
They were, but with like that chorus, what's the "I'm drowning in my sleep" that song?
Yeah.
You have those catchy chorus. Yeah, I agree. I fucking hate them. I don't
that
think
one
they're
album
any good.
That got them super popular. That was super catchy.
Only Chasing Safety.
Yeah, that one. Everybody loves that album.
The album after that was fucking wicked. Like they had.
Yes. Define the Great Line is heavy as shit.
Yeah.
It's so good. It is very metalcore.
And
but that first record,
shit.
Dude,
but the one that got them popular was like, it's scene core, and I guess we have to put that in the post-hardcore category.
It's going to have to go in the post-hardcore. I mean, I would.
Their stuff now is
metalcore.
Is not even metalcore. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know what it is.
So you two want to do post-hardcore? Because I would have gone ahead and thrown them in metalcore, to be honest.
I think I'm okay with metalcore because as a whole, I could see them on tour with the Kill Switch or one of those bands.
You know what? I think there's on one of their tour DVDs or something. I'm pretty sure it was them where they're on.
No, it's hold on. What's the name of the tour? It was the Winter Warped Tour is what they called it. But it was like Under Oath, A Static Lullaby, fucking Kill Switch. God damn it, it's gonna kill me what the name of that tour is called. The Used always headlined it.
The Used.
The Winter Slaughter.
Winter Slaughter.
Winter Slaughter. Oh God. I'll think of it. Give me a second.
Okay. All right. So
anyway, go on.
This next one, Fear Before the.
Oh, damn it! Oh, that's so tough.
It's so tough.
See, I'm putting Fear Before in post-hardcore.
I think so too, especially with the later records.
The later records is what I was going to say, but the first record, dude.
What do you call the first? Like even Art Damage.
Art Damage.
Art Damage was incredible, dude. Art Damage is so good.
Their discography is great. Like it's what four total albums, and it's great.
That was once again, that was a subgenre of music that was like, if you liked those bands, you knew, like we were talking about the Jean Bonnet, Fear Before, the Blood Brothers. They were all to me, they were all in the same genre.
Right.
And it wasn't just post-hardcore. It was like another
thing
in itself.
Here's the thing. I feel like they gave hardcore vibes, and this is where I try to define post-hardcore, but they didn't really have the breakdowns or the call-outs or anything like that.
Yeah,
maybe one or two songs,
Dude, the party doesn't start till the spike is in the punch. Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's coke like we're vacuums. Good lines. Great lines.
Honestly,
such good lines.
And those bands can go in punk too.
Yeah,
it could go in punk too.
It could fall into some punk stuff. But I do think the last two albums, full albums, really pushed them into the post-hardcore area. So what do you guys think?
I'll go Fear Before. I'm pretty sure I put them on my list, so I guess I have to just.
Yeah, I'm gonna go post. I'm gonna go post for sure.
I think it was on your list, Rabit.
It was.
Okay, let's get a different one in. Let's go Taking Back Sunday. Where are we throwing these guys?
It's post, dog. That is one.
The trash.
No,
the trash.
What?
This is where them in the trash.
This is where I think it's alt indie rock. I don't think they belong in post-hardcore. I think
absolutely not.
They got grouped in with all the post-hardcore bands.
You're right. Okay. I will give you that. I put them on my backup list.
Pop punk.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're pop punk. I think more indie alt rock with a hint of pop punk in there.
Indie punk. Indie punk, is that a category?
but they, like with the way they wrote their songs in the like repetitive choruses over and over again.
Yeah.
That's really alt rock stuff. Like where you're saying the chorus, you sing it, you go to the chorus 6 times in a song and it's 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Right.
That is 100% an alt rock song. Like, yeah, I put them in the post-hardcore. I did, but I'll agree. I'll agree.
So this one, I feel like, is going to be one of the most controversial to talk about.
All right, let's do it, baby.
Poison the Well.
Oh,
it's hardcore.
Okay.
I say post-hardcore.
Hardcore.
Ooh.
They like.
I'm gonna tell you.
I need to hear reasons before I weigh in.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you one reason. I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna go, okay, you're right. 10 for 10 tour.
Oh my God! Yes, that was such a badass tour.
They headlined a hardcore tour.
Yeah.
So now, if you told me they were metalcore, I would maybe go into that because they are from that area where metalcore is big. However, they have a lot of hardcore feel to them. But I totally get the post-hardcore vibe from it all. That's why I fucking hate this, is because they were on metal tours, they did hardcore tours, and it's just like, fuck, what are they? But post-hardcore might be where they fucking belong if we're gonna God damn it. I know.
To me, I feel like the real genre that Poison the Well and a few other bands on this list should go in is melodic hardcore.
Yes, 100%.
And that's a genre that's not on there. Poison the Well is melodic hardcore, and that could go under the hardcore banner as a subgenre.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But they can also very well be on post-hardcore.
Well, see, that's like Misery Signals. They're melodic hardcore for sure.
Yeah.
And so is Counterparts, melodic hardcore.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands that go under that. That's that.
Yeah. So you know what? I say we can put them with hardcore, but I agree with Rabit that they belong in the melodic hardcore genre.
I would say melodic hardcore is under the flag of hardcore.
For sure. As long as everyone understands that. Real quick,
then, how do you differentiate between melodic hardcore and post-hardcore? Because didn't you say that post-hardcore is catchy choruses? And
dude, it is.
That's melodic hardcore.
Look, my 2 cents on it, I think Poison the Well is a hardcore band. And I think even their later stuff, like at the end of their albums, I think it becomes more metalcore-ish. But I still think that they have, because I went through like some old hardcore bands and listened to later stuff, and it's just like a more matured hardcore sound. That's
right.
That's how I try to convince myself that they're still hardcore, I guess.
But if we were to like just being whatever, they're still playing hardcore riffs.
Yes.
Poison the Well does. They still play the power chord, hardcore riffs, and then it's like, oh man, he sings and it's real pretty too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and he remembers a lot.
To me, that's why it's melodic hardcore.
We used to have a joke that Jeffrey remembers everything because he's got like 3 songs on the Opposite of December where he's like, I remember. So he just remembers.
Yeah, he remembers.
Right.
He remembers December, I guess.
Brand new.
Oh boy. I guess they're still going in indie rock. They would Taking Back Sunday.
I put them in post-hardcore.
Okay,
they were on my list.
This is my argument. I think their first 2 albums are more alt indie rock. I think everything that they did after Deja Entu or however you say it, is post-hardcore. I think
like Devil and
God are Raging Inside Me, Daisy. I think that falls in post-hardcore. Even though, look, we all know the Vocalist is a shitbag, but like we still needed to put this somewhere. My vote would be post-hardcore.
See, mine is post-hardcore. I feel like they were, again, to break it into different levels, I feel like Brand New really was like, they kind of crossed several boundaries.
So
do what?
I'm pretty... Okay, I'm going to check my list that I sent to Toby.
But see, I do think those first two albums easily fall more into the alt indie.
I didn't put Brand New on there.
I did
not put Brand New on there.
That's my only caveat on this one. Their first two albums, but then like what I feel like defined them later is what made them more.
Their first two albums were pop. Their first two albums were pop punk.
Yeah, exactly. Like
absolutely. But then they mellowed out and they actually matured with their sound, and I feel like that just evolved into indie rock.
Yeah.
Like that's why I say not post-hardcore, but
okay, this next one should be easy. A Day to Remember.
Pop punk.
Pop punk. Yeah.
I would say either metalcore or punk for sure. I think they got more punky stuff like back in the early days.
Their first two records were very like legit pop punk, but they do have a lot of hardcore riffs. I think we can put them in the punk category as they fall under the pop punk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
they just there was like those pop punk bands that started doing breakdowns.
Yes,
but it's still pop punk.
It's still pop punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just chugging in standard. It doesn't sound that great. You know what I mean?
You're still writing pop punk songs and then throwing a breakdown at the end.
Yeah, we all know that you hate your town. You're not. You
gotta get out of the town.
You're not crossing the train tracks, but then next album you're like, man, the town's not so bad. You know what I mean?
What about I always mispronounce this because I'm stupid.
Pierce the Veil.
I always say veal for some reason because I'm illiterate.
The veal, like
Pierce the Veil. Yeah, a nice piece of veal. Pierce it. Where are we throwing these guys?
I don't even know what they sound like, honestly. I don't think I've ever listened to this band. I've heard their name, but I've never listened to them.
First off, a couple things. I think the song is called "Bull in the Bronx."
Yes.
That song goes fucking hard.
It does.
The only reason I know that because I had to teach it. I had to teach it to a couple of my students a long time ago when I was teaching drums. Their drummer, his name is Lionel Robinson. I'm playing drums for Pierce the Veil right now. Probably top 5 drummers of all time that I've ever seen play drums in person.
They've got some new fame here in the last couple of years because of TikTok.
Yeah. Dude, Lonnie can play the drums so well. It's fucking stupid. He's amazing. Anyway, Pierce the Veil, I would honestly, because they do a lot of screaming and stuff. I would put them in post-hardcore. That's just where I'm at.
I'm with you.
I just think they're too like a Warped Tour-y band. I don't know, like those. I think you have to be of a time to be post-hardcore. Maybe I'm going back on all these bands that we put in there, except for Glassjaw. Maybe.
As I Lay Dying.
Oh, As I metalcore. As I Lay Dying's metalcore.
100%.
Prison.
Prison. All right, that was an easy one. What about Dillinger?
Oh.
Sorry, I had to send a text message.
They're either post-hardcore or hardcore.
That's what.
But see, I can't.
I guess I would put him in post because he does sing.
Sing a lot. He sings a lot.
They would have to go in post-hardcore.
I mean, even on their earlier records with what's the other singer's name on Calculating Infinity, that record, they sang a lot on that record too. Still.
Yeah.
But I don't think what's his name. Cannot pronounce this dude's name to save my life. Greg Piocco. Piocco.
I think it's Pucciato or something.
Whatever, dude. I don't know.
Pistachio.
Mr. Pistachio.
He really didn't. I don't think he found his voice on what's that record? Iron Ore. Is that the name of the record?
Yeah.
Ironworks.
Ironworks. Yeah. Thank you. Ironworks.
I don't know, dude. Miss Machine is pretty fucking incredible.
Miss Machine's great.
See, I agree. But like,
Ironworks is like my least favorite Dillinger album.
That's my favorite Dillinger album.
Really?
Black Bubblegum is, I think, one of the best metal songs ever. Like, really.
Well, there's good songs, there's good songs on that album, but there's a lot of filler too. And it was just like, I don't know.
But I think that's when he found his voice. But now
Option Paralysis though. Option Paralysis.
Sick. One of Us is a Killer.
One of Us is a Killer.
That record, front to back, one of the best.
I think Option Paralysis. We're gonna get into a Dillinger debate now, but I think Option Paralysis is so underrated. So underrated.
I agree. See, I feel the same way about
the album is so good.
Right. I mean, let's be real. Calculating Infinity is.
I don't really like that.
Dude, I love that record. I don't like tech metal. I fucking hate it so much. But Dillinger was that one band that I was like, this is fucking insane. This is insane. I'm gonna watch them.
Well, they're just live. So live show was insanity.
Yeah.
Just complete. Just.
So where do you want to put them though?
I'd put them in post-hardcore.
Let's just go post. I'm gonna go post.
They're probably in their own genre that somebody's going to get mad about.
But if we have to cram them into one of these,
they're cramming him into post-hardcore.
Now, real quick before we go on, is there anybody in the chat telling us otherwise? We have not checked the chat yet.
I would love for anyone that's watching to give us weigh in on what you think we've done so far. If we got something wrong, tell us why, so we can debate it, maybe, possibly. All right, let's see. Botch,
post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore. That is 100%.
Yeah.
If
they're like.
Okay. I feel like I'm not destroying you.
It is, but what I was going to say about Botch is, I don't think people appreciate what came from Botch.
Everything.
We would have never gotten The Chariot. We would have never gotten Norma Jean. We would have Poison the Well.
Fucking Dillinger's Escape Plan. Like, they're all come from Botch.
It makes me so mad when you're like, oh yeah, oh dude, you know Botch, and they're like, who's that? And you're like, what? Like, get it? I understand it, but like without Botch, there would be so many bands didn't exist if there wasn't a Botch. And I will fucking say that.
Yeah, absolutely. But that being said, Botch and Poison the Well should probably be in the same genre, right?
I think so.
They should both be hardcore.
I think so too, because Botch falls into that category, that weird.
Because they're basically the same band.
They
Poison the Well and Botch are basically the same band.
Yes,
I get their songs confused all the time.
Do we want to move them?
I think we should move them.
I think Botch should be in hardcore.
I think Botch should be in a hardcore. Now,
move.
I'm not gonna say that they're like hardcore, but they're in a genre of like the melodic style hardcore because you get it. And like Chariot, dude, they're just in their own fucking genre. Their music doesn't make sense, Toby.
But they're going in there with Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yes, for sure. Yes. They're going to go with Dillinger.
They're going right next to Dillinger Escape Plan.
That's the right move, I think.
Like, oh my God. There's so many oh my God. My mind is being overloaded right now by so much music.
All right, Thursday.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Make America the Chariot.
Dude.
Damn right.
Oh, man.
Look,
what is it? My other ride is the Chariot?
Yes.
What is it? Like,
I have no, and it says the Chariot. My other ride is
the Chariot.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
What about Thursday?
I'm going
post-hardcore. Post-hardcore.
Then that one's easy because I think that's post-hardcore all day long.
That is 100% post-hardcore. Understanding a Car Crash, one of the best songs of that genre ever created. War All the Time. Dude. And you want to know something? What's crazy? 2 years ago, Thursday headlined This Is Hardcore.
Really?
And killed it. The hardcore kids were stoked. Yeah, when they started getting back together and doing stuff, they headlined This Is Hardcore, which if people out there aren't familiar with that show, it says it in the name. It is like strictly, it's hardcore, and they
the biggest hardcore,
and they crushed it.
Yeah.
crushed it, dude.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this one.
So, dude, rock and roll, fucking rock and roll, dude.
You know what? I'm with you. This is some kind of just like rock and roll, alt rock, whatever you want to call it.
I was gonna say I would honestly probably put them in alt indie rock.
But we do have a.
I did see them with Kill Switch though. I saw them on tour with Kill Switch though.
I don't think they fall in metalcore, but we do have a name for them. They play spooky cowboy music, is what we call them.
Spooky cowboy music. That's exactly what it is.
There's only two bands in that genre.
Yeah. Yep.
Rob Zombie.
It's Rob Zombie and He Is Legend. God damn it, dude. So I remember when I was teaching, 10 years ago or whatever. I was talking to the kids and they were like talking about genres and I was like, look, I'm just going to tell y'all this and y'all need to learn it now. Rock and roll died the day He Is Legend stopped touring.
Yeah.
And they were like, who is He Is Legend? And I was like, look, dude, if you don't know, then you don't know rock and roll because they're the only rock and roll band. And anybody wants to come on, oh, Led Zeppelin, oh, AC/DC. No. He Is Legend
rock and roll
is the rock and roll band.
I'm with you. I still think 68 falls in that category too. I think
yes, they do.
I think both of those are just the fucking core rock and roll bands, plural. Because
there is no The Chariot, I fucking hate 68.
I get it.
That's just where I'm at.
Let's throw this one up there. Refused.
Sick. That's post-hardcore, baby.
Post-hardcore for sure.
100%.
I could almost throw them in punk because
I was gonna say that too.
I agree.
I could throw them in punk. I would be okay with that.
They were the shape of punk to come.
Yes, sir. Well done. And it's true. I think,
and it's true because everybody sounded like them after they dropped.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that first record was insane.
They started a whole musical movement. That's another band like Botch that you don't understand how many bands came from. Like, even if you didn't listen to Refused, like, your band was still influenced by Refused.
Oh, yeah.
Because the music you wanted to play sounded like a band that you heard that was influenced by Refused.
Yeah.
Yes,
like, I guarantee you.
Dude, there would have been no I Wrestled a Bear Once without Refused. That was Steven's favorite band. That was Steven's favorite band was Refused. Like, people don't even know. And what's funny is people don't even know it. And then they hear that one Refused song. I can't think of the name of it right now. And everybody's like, and everybody's like, oh shit, I love this song. It's like, yeah, no shit, you fucking do. These guys.
That song dropped in 1994, dog.
Not only that, they were also some of the first guys.
96 or whatever. I don't know.
Some of the first people to fucking go ape shit on stage and just jump off. Like, there's other bands.
Every Warped Tour band modeled their stage presence after their
100%.
Yep.
The Chariot modeled their fucking dude, like Norma Jean,
everyone. Skinny jeans, black swoopy hair, like it was like spinning guitars, all that shit was from Refused.
Hardcore. Don't even debate that. Throw it up there.
Yeah.
Look, I had to
put
some
slam dunk.
I had to put some layups in there. Like, it's just,
Look, first off, Kubla Khan, to me, there's Knocked Loose, and then there's Kubla Khan right now. Two biggest bands in the heavy world. Throw them up there. I would put them in a metalcore. I would put Knocked Loose in a metalcore. Because I feel like Knocked Loose walks the fine line of metalcore, and
I feel like Knocked Loose is hardcore.
I'm with hardcore on Knocked Loose.
But
like, I don't know what, like, they don't really play metal riffs. I don't ever heard any metal riffs.
But they do play metal riffs, and they just don't have the singy choruses. But because those guys, when they talk about themselves, they call themselves metalcore. That's the new thing. Like, I was talking to Toby, metalcore Twitter. All the hardcore bands that are big right now, a lot of them call themselves metalcore.
Metalcore.
Because like they're just what's the word I'm thinking of?
I think
like,
it just
into one genre.
Yeah, I think it's just I think almost like metalcore now is becoming that catch-all that all these bands used to fall in. Like, if you do metal and you have breakdowns, you're easily thrown into the metalcore. I think it's just the same thing that as post-hardcore is. Okay.
But I'm okay with them being in hardcore because that's I mean they write fight riffs. Let's be fucking real. They're a beat down band.
Yeah.
They're a beat down band. Beat down bands. It's a hardcore thing. Like
yeah,
it just
absolutely.
is what it is.
I don't know this band, but this was on one of your
Dude, Scarlet. They're so sick. If you haven't listened to Scarlet,
I don't know Scarlet. Scarlet's not on my radar, so y'all are gonna have
They're
to tell me.
good.
Dude.
They only had like 2 albums.
Yes.
They were both fucking incredible.
Dude.
But they're going in post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore.
Yeah.
I only know that because Rabit and I'm pretty sure you and I had a conversation about that band, and I listened to them. I would have never ever heard them otherwise,
So
and
sad.
it's because you were like, "Oh, dude, this band."
I love them so much.
I feel like this one's gonna hurt me wherever it lands. Every Time I Die. Where are we putting Every Time I Die?
Honestly,
I'm going post.
I'm gonna go post. I'm gonna go post-hardcore. That's easy for me. However, if we were to talk about rock and roll bands, I feel like Every Time I Die is right there.
I think so too. That's the problem.
Because
I think they fall into that like dirty southern rock metal.
This is just crushing my soul. All this stuff. Like,
but they play some of the best and heaviest breakdowns of any band. Well, and so that's, to me, that's hardcore, like with melodic singing.
And then
once again, they're like.
Floater has
that's why I put him in
one of the best breakdowns.
Rock and roll.
Floater has one of the best breakdowns of all time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Period. You can't change my mind. But post-hardcore is where they belong. They were a Warped Tour post-hardcore band. Like,
if they didn't do breakdowns like they do, then I would say yes, they could be in a rock and roll category or whatever.
Okay, fair.
But the fact that they do so many breakdowns and they're all fucking heavy and good, that puts them in post-hardcore for me.
So I only got 2 more, and I think these are going to be real easy. So we'll just from first to last.
That's okay. So
I think post-hardcore. That's my vote.
Oh, it's post-hardcore. But again, so when I was researching all this stuff, found a guy, and he put them in like a metal. Like not a metal, excuse me, a post-hardcore subgenre of post-hardcore, like the scene core. Because there's different levels of post-hardcore, obviously. They're a Warped Tour band, but they were humongous.
Yeah.
They were huge. And it's insane, but they're like a scene core band. Like Chiodos was a scene core post-hardcore band, and there they are. They were on my list.
God, I can't stand this fucking band.
Look, man,
it's post-hardcore.
Trash cans where they go.
Dude, okay, hold on. Okay, so I used to hate them. I really did. I fucking
hey,
dude. But then somebody explained Chiodos to me, and I was like, okay, whatever, makes sense. They were a bunch of dudes that liked writing heavy riffs, heavy, cool metal riffs, and they just ended up being in a band with that fucking dude, I can't think of his name, that sings in the band.
God damn it.
But
terrible.
Their music riffage,
Craig,
is so good.
Isn't it Craig?
So good. Yeah, Craig Owens. Yeah, Craig Owens. It was a good Craig, I think.
The good Craig, yes.
But like
Chiodos was your girlfriend's favorite.
My wife loves Chiodos.
Not you. I just
my wife loves Chiodos.
Your
that's one of the only reasons that I started listening to them. Their first record was, dude, I still listen to it to this day.
And they had the cool old names, like no hardcore dancing in the living room. There's no penguins in Alaska. Like the old school, like MySpace titles of names. Oh, I miss that.
So song names used to go hard.
Dude, like
song names used to go real hard.
My favorite was Devil Wears Prada, and they had This Song Is Called.
Yes.
That's a sick fucking song name, dude. This song is called. Like, come on, that's awesome.
Okay, so
they had an HTML rules. Yeah, let's go post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore. That's what I think.
Post-hardcore for sure.
But do you see? Look how like crazy when you have these bands lined up together, and you're like, oh, Dillinger and Blood Brothers.
Bumper Celeste don't belong in the same category.
Yeah, I hate that it's a catch-all, but it makes sense.
It does.
And it sucks.
Well, I feel like if you put another category up on that board that said Scene Core or Warped Tour bands, then a lot of those would separate.
But then Fear Before would go into that. Fear Before would separate into that category.
It would.
Scary Kids would separate in that. Brand New would separate into that category. Like, there's a way. Like, if we were to go, you know what I mean? Like,
Every Time I Die would probably separate.
Yeah, I saw Every Time I Die.
I bet every Time I Die played more Warped Tours than fucking
anybody.
Than anybody. Yeah, dude. So like, but
yeah,
I am a little upset, Toby, because one of my main ones on here that I think paved the way and bridged the gap between punk and post-hardcore is not on here, Toby.
What was
I'm
it?
a
Maybe
little upset.
I forgot it. What was it?
AFI. AFI.
You know what? I looked it up and I forgot to save the logo, I think.
AFI. Dude, AFI started as punk and then started moving towards that post-hardcore sound.
Sing the Sorrow is definitely a post-hardcore.
Until they just like took a downturn.
Yeah,
but
dude.
See,
but
that's what's cool about AFI is that they do have different albums. They've got the punk album, they've got the post-hardcore, they've got the alt indie rock kind of record. Like they have a good variety of like stuff.
And what's his name?
That's
Davey
true.
Havoc. Is Davey Havoc the singer? Yeah,
Davey Havoc. Yeah,
that dude is the amazing vocalist.
Oh,
amazing vocalist.
I love so Black Sails in the Sunset is one of my favorite records.
Such a great record.
Album goes so hard.
Yeah, dude.
What's the other one?
Sing the Sorrow is fucking is great
so
too.
That album's so
I
good.
love Sing the Sorrow.
It was the one
sucker
before.
for that.
It was one before. There was
I'm not
Black Sails in the Sunset, and they were like the two back-to-back records, and they were so fucking good.
Dude.
That's when they really started to do like more hardcore. Like
I feel like that band falls to the wayside. So many people forget.
Well, it's because they fell off. They fell off real hard.
It's because they put out Miss Murder.
Their later albums were so bad.
Yeah,
dude, it was. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I hate when bands evolve and like bands stay in the same.
I like when bands evolve.
Cool.
I like when bands mature
the better.
in a good way.
Yes, but Sing the Sorrow was a radio record.
Oh,
100%.
It was
my god,
so good.
The Art of Drowning. Are you kidding me? That album is so.
Dude, I agree.
Yeah, those two albums for me were like that's AFI.
And that band, I think, is right there with Glassjaw when it comes to like that post-hardcore. To me, on that list, the truest. And you also forgot another one.
What was
I have one.
At the Drive-In was one
of
my big. Were you gonna say At the Drive-In?
I was gonna say At the Drive-In. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't.
But that was
a
tricky one though. That's a tricky one though, because they could also be in like the indie rock.
Yes, and I agree, but I feel like they were.
But they were so special. At the Drive-In was so special.
And then we talk about their live show. Their live show was just like Refused, like they went off. And At the Drive-In does not get enough love because of that shit band that he started afterwards. Yeah, I said it. I don't fucking care.
The Mars Volta.
Mars Volta fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I would. Sparta is cool as fuck.
Their first record was dope, though. Their first record was dope.
Man, it is.
Deloused is one of the best records of all time.
Dude, Deloused in the crematorium or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
It's so good.
It's good, but it just sucks because I love At the Drive-In.
So do I.
So like whenever it's like, oh cool, Mars Volta, this is not At the Drive-In. This sucks. Like I want
that first record goes hard. It does.
It does. But you know, whatever. I totally get it. But Atoms Against User is like such a great fucking song.
Yeah.
Oh my god, their first record is so goddamn good.
Toby, you need to listen to some At the Drive-In.
I guess so. That and Scarlet, I'll add those to my list.
Like Relationship on Command. That album just fucking kills. That's where all their hits came from. All their hits from that album.
Yeah. Pattern Against User.
One Arm Scissor.
One Arm Scissor is so good.
Yeah.
fucking on the record after that, Napoleon Solo was a great fucking song too.
Yeah, and they came out. Their new record that they came out with
is good.
Really good too.
It was really good.
Like 20 years later, they released an album, and it's like they still got it.
Really?
And so they played a show. Their first show back was at the Glass House in Pomona. And I read a detailed article before I watched the live video. And the dude writing the article was like, and as soon as the lights hit and they started playing, it was like they were all in their 20s again, going crazy, going ape shit on stage. Like, it was like, and they're all in their late 40s at this point, you know what I mean? And like, they still put on a killer fucking show. And then they're just like they just stopped playing shows again. They're like, all right, cool, whatever. Fuck it. We're done. And it just, and I never got to see them. And it breaks my heart because they didn't come anywhere close for me to go see them.
No.
And it just,
and they're from El Paso. Yeah. They're from El Paso. We could never I never got to see them.
Dude, I used to work with a guy who was from that area, and he got to see them when they were younger.
Yeah.
Like when they were first blowing up in El Paso, and he was telling me about it, and I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't even want to talk to you about it. Like,
I hate you guys right now.
That's a bucket list band for me. Yeah. I got to record in Omar's studio in South Pasadena, which was I don't know if anybody cared as much. We only recorded drums in there, but I got to record where all his stuff is. All his instruments were like basses and guitars with his name carved in it. Omar Rodriguez's. Like, dude, it was fucking coolest experience of my life. Like that, the only good thing that ever came from Surrounded by Monsters was getting to record in Omar Rodriguez's fucking studio. Like, really, truthfully, like that shit was that was the coolest shit ever. So yeah, anyway, that's my At the Drive-In tangent.
We're gonna promote some stuff that we all do. You guys can go first because y'all are promoting the same thing.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Yes, we are.
Rabit, and if you don't know, Rabit and I are in a band called Terminated. We only name our songs after Adam Sandler quotes.
So good.
And
so
at least for the first EP.
For the first EP, we have 2 songs on Spotify, and we are actually in the process of booking new dates to record hopefully another EP. We have a show. When is it, Richard? The
June 15th.
June 15th at Haltom Theater. If anybody watching wants to come out and kick it, it should be a pretty good show. Yeah, that's about all we got right there.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, it's weird doing this myself because I'm not usually the one steering the ship. But hey, if you want to check out the things that I do the Secret Levels podcast. It's a retro video game review show. We go over one game per episode. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts, and we'll let you know if it's still worth playing 30 years later or however old it is. You can also catch me on Twitch, streaming those said retro games at twitch.tv/TobyVonDoom. I stream every Tuesday at 7:15 Central Standard Time, but I do stream sometimes throughout the week. So come hang out and stuff, and all that good stuff. Yeah, I guess I don't know how to wrap this up because I've never been the wrap up guy on this. So I guess we'll see you later, nerds.
See you later, nerds.